Hey, what's up guys? Chilix here, welcome back to Witch on the Holy Night. Last time we had soujyurou get a talking to from Alco and kind of Alice, but Alice didn't really talk much. But yeah, Alco basically explained what the arrangement is. It's either this or death. And then soujyurou kind of broke her expectations by wanting to go outside immediately. And yeah, now we are. Oh, he also has to contend with potential death from random stuff in the mansion, which is terrifying. But yeah, anyway, we are now. He just got home, and we are now winding back to, I'm assuming, either Alco or Alice's POV, or maybe someone else entirely. We'll see. But yeah. Now, let us rewind 5 hours prior to this glutton for punishment going to bed. Okay. Okay, Alice. It was 7 o'clock in the evening, just after the unproductive discussion between the two mages and the boy had ended. I wouldn't say it was unproductive, but... maybe that's just me. Leaving her roommate and the intruder in the drawing room, the girl walked alone through the foyer. Or the foyer. From there, she headed to the West Wing. These were Alice Koenji's personal chambers, in which even her roommate, Aoko Awazaki, seldom dared to step foot. The foyer was illuminated only by pale moonlight. Hard footsteps echoed through the dreary, moonlit lobby. In such mansions in Japan, there was no custom for removing shoes at the door. Yeah, man, I'm American, but like, I don't understand why a lot of Americans wear their shoes indoors. Most of the houses I've lived in, we've had a little entry area to take our shoes off at. My current place doesn't, but I usually take my shoes off before entering anyway. Even though, like, I'll take them off outside and then carry them to my room. I don't know. It just, I don't get why we wear our shoes inside. I don't know. It's just cleaner to do it like the, not even. I wouldn't even say it's the Japanese way. It's like everywhere except America. It's yeah. I don't know, we make no sense. There's no custom for moving shoes to the door. Hence, Alice crossed the foyer in her boots. She only removed them when she relaxed in her bedroom. What was up? Suddenly, she remembered something from her childhood. Okay. She used to enjoy the feeling of the cold hardwood floor on her bare feet, and would walk around the foyer on particularly sunny days. After her father affectionately scolded her for it, she never did it again.
そうだったわね。青子は結局守らなかった。
And now, do you resent her for it? Or are you jealous that she doesn't have any reservations about it? She let out a quiet sigh. Alice's new roommate, whom she took on after coming to Japan, would not comply with her instructions.
落ち着かないものはしょうがない。
Yeah, I guess, Aoko would say, changing into her slippers. Aoko might have found it natural to do so given that she's lived in a typical Japanese house through middle school, but every time Alice heard her flip-flopping through the foyer, she wanted to cancel their cohabitation. Again, I think Aoko's in the right here, but yeah, okay. By now, Alice wasn't particularly bothered by it anymore. Human adaptability was remarkable at times, and ungracious at others. The emotional attachments of the past had proved far too brittle under the weight of reality. A little blue bird was perched on the banister. Its tiny chirping made Alice stop and look its way.
今夜は放っておくわ。今は青子の問題よ。
Okay, so Alice didn't give any instructions to the bird to keep an eye on him. Interesting. The lack of feeling in her voice made the bird tilt its head as it sang. Tweet, tweet, tweet. It shrilled as though questioning its master's uncharacteristic leniency. I feel like she... Because she even... It even, like, mentioned in her head that she thought he was familiar earlier, right? I'm pretty sure it did. Am I crazy? I feel like it... Yeah, I think... I'm pretty sure. So, I wonder if she's gonna realize that he's the one who gave her food. Like, as, you know, in the fucking, like, cat costume that his restaurant has him wear when doing deliveries. That'd be an interesting conversation to have.
約束は約束よ。今夜ぐらいは多めに見ないと。
Thanks for your benevolence.
青子と彼はそれだけの活躍をしたのだし。
Yeah. She said to the bird, her voice betraying her discontent. If you win, I'll let you go. She would keep that promise, in spite of the unquenchable desire to fight that burned in her chest. In spite of the unquenchable... Yeah, okay.
でも、その後の処遇は別の話。
True. That's... You didn't.
条件付きのゲームに勝ったぐらいで、いつまでも得意げでいられるのは心外だわ。
Perhaps it was perfectionism born of fastidiousness, but... Despite her prim demeanor, Alice Kwonji was a sore loser. Yeah, a little bit, it would seem. It didn't matter to her whose magecraft was superior. Losing the game had proven hard to move on from. The little bird fluttered its wings in agreement. Drinking in Alice's contempt, it was itching to dive bomb the invader. Yet it doesn't. It only helps him. Which again is interesting. It looked like a soldier saluting a superior officer as it preened itself. The blue bird turned to face its master. Tweet, 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 tweet. Its light-hearted tweeting seemed to display a desire to deal with soujyurou first thing in the morning. I'd rather you didn't.
そうね。理由さえできたのなら、瓶なり本なりに入ってもらいましょう。
Wait, you can put them in a book? Oh, that's interesting. Would it be just like... I assume it'd be like... Not just like trapping him like within like... As a spirit of the book, but like as like a... Like within the story itself. Like he'd have to like run from whatever monsters and... fairy tale creatures are being told about in said book, right? I would assume. Except her words lacked any bite. On the face of it, they were the chilling kind one might come to expect from a witch's lips. But then again, so tame as to remind you of a certain robin's flapping.
しばらくの話よ。けど、それも一時だけ。私の我慢も長くは続かないし。
He's gonna be very agreeable to you though, right? Gonna be okay. Bro, for a second I thought I wasn't recording and my heart dropped for a second. But no, we're good. Jesus Christ. I looked over and like there was a certain thing that usually is like indicating that it's recording isn't, but I look over at the other thing that indicates it's recording and it is.
だいたい青子も人にかまけていられる立場じゃないわ。いつかもすれば思い知るでしょう。そうすれば。
When that time came, expelling him would be simple. Alice was well aware her roommate was a pragmatist with no vision. That's a bit rude. The situation she'd created would not allow her to wait around. She could only afford to protect that boy for 3 or 4 days at most. Beyond that, Alice sensed Aoko would crack and say something like, "You take care of this, Alice." We'll see about that.
それまで待つか。あるいは私の我慢が効かなくなるか。
Again, I think she's gonna end up finding him very agreeable. I don't know.
どちらにしても結果は変わらないわ。
We'll see about that. Alice Quonji would suffer no more irritations. And protecting a witness, let alone allowing them to live in her mansion, was an indignity. To say... Alice looked up, fascinated by the dense fog that had crawled into the foyer. Above the fireplace was a single mirror. Roughly 3 feet in diameter, it decorated the wall where one might find a painting. Its surface was faintly clouded and vaguely reflected the foyer's appearance.
スナークをなくした影響でしょうね。
Yeah, I guess.
鏡の機能、しばらくは制御できないみたい。
Yeah, okay, so the snark has something to do with the mirror then? Interesting. The little bird joyfully chirped at its master's mumbling. If it brings fairy tales to life, would it... Or not, well, I guess I'm not safe. Well, yeah, right? So that would be like... I don't know. The little bird joyfully chirped at its master's mumbling. The bird attempted to imply that there was no need for her to lift a finger, not if the nuisance would fall into the mirror of his own accord. I don't think that would happen, though. Or perhaps, had the little bird not sang, Alice would have come to the same conclusion. For some reason, she recalled an earlier conversation.
これでも一番無難だと思う。
In response to her question, the boy inside the bottle shrugged his shoulders and answered. From his perspective, the city and the mansion were no different. It seemed that having just moved from the countryside, everything was something he had never seen before. Again, yeah, true.
自慢できることじゃないが、まだ書き物さえ満足にできないし、都会のルールは複雑すぎて、何が正しいのかさえ区別がつかない。
More than embarrassment, his voice was full of resentment. Resentment towards the city life in general, or himself? He was angry about something, though Alice couldn't tell what. But...
だから、どこにいても危ないことに変わりはないんだ。
Yeah.
極端な話、道を歩くだけでも、人と話すだけでも不安になる。俺は、どこでだろうとうまくやっていける保証はないんだよ。
That's kinda sad, to be honest.
けど、ここにはそんな奴に気を使ってくれる人がいる。気遣ってくれる理由は物騒なものっぽいけど、それは本当に贅沢なことだと思うんだ。
Okay, what do you mean never known the luxury? Do you mean in general or in the city? Because if it's in general, then did no one in like his mountain village or whatever have concern or like care for him? That's an interesting way of phrasing that. Her eyes welled up ever so slightly. Those soft words were something she could not brush off, because they made sense to her. Oh? Given that everything in the city was a danger to him, nothing had changed after coming to the mansion. In reality, he had no reason to fear this place in particular. If anything was different from the outside, it would be that someone here was his ally. With that view, he had been entirely sincere. Interesting. His explanation hadn't contained any flattery towards Alice Quonji. I'm gonna say nor pandering. I think that's meant to be nor, not more. Nor pandering to Aoko Awazaki. He was simply speaking from the heart. I like it here. I feel like like is probably stretching it, but yeah.
今、鏡に迷い込まれるのは迷惑ね。
Oh?
鏡の機能は侵入者の探索に専念させたいし、彼が迷い込みそうになったら止めてあげて。
She does kind of like him. Okay. She's like, you know, he's not that bad, you know. Like, if he does something really fucking stupid that gets himself killed, it's whatever. But don't let him die by this. Or not die, or I guess get stuck would be the more appropriate wordage. I don't know. The bird shook its feathers at her strange instruction. Alice looked away from the mirror and continued her walk. The bird chirped in protest. Okay, so the bird wasn't doing it of its own accord. Whatever that fog is, it has to do with the mirror, and so it was following Alice's orders and keeping him away from the fog. Which would keep him away from... Okay, I don't know. The bird chirped in
あなたの
protest.
仕事よ、ロビー。それぐらいの役には立って。
What? At least get that right? How rude. Leaving the bird with that icy retort, she vanished into the west wing. The birds are like, what the fuck? What did I do? All that remained was the moonlight. And the little blue bird trembling at a perilous prospect of unprecedented change. Oh my god, my phone. Hang on, let me just put it in my pocket. Hopefully that'll muffle it. So I'm guessing by unprecedented change, the bird's like, Alice has never been this lenient with anything ever before. Which... probably true. But, yeah, I ended last time because I thought this would be a section that would be like 30 to 40 minutes long, but no, that was... If I wasn't recording and like talking and whatnot, it probably would have been like 12 minutes, but since I was, it was like almost 18. So, yeah, that was a lot shorter than I was expecting it to be. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there. I really wish I had waited to do this part before uploading, but the first bits, then I could have tacked this onto the end of that one. That would have made more sense, but yeah, too late now. It's already up. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and yeah, it looks like maybe it won't be so hard for Soujyurou to get Alice to at least warm up to him than they're thinking. Wait, did that make any sense? It won't be so hard for him to get Alice to warm up to him than they would. Yeah, that makes sense, right? I think so. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, next time we'll do chapter... Now is gonna be chapter 7. This last one was chapter 6. This next one is chapter 7. But yeah, later.